auditing your website is one of the most important things that you can do to ensure that search engines like Google and Bing are indexing your websites so you have the best chance to rank on the first page of search engine results pages. Okay, so the first thing I like to do when auditing a website is to actually head over to the website to see what it looks like. Today we're going to do an audit on lithiumautocare.com. And from the onset, I see a few good things and a few bad things. Initially, up here in the top left, we do have the branding with the social media icons, which is always a must-have in today's world. And then over here in the middle top, we have a call to action on free shipping on orders over $50. Give your consumers a little bit of an incentive to actually place their first order. We can also see that we have the branding and a navigational bar up here at the top with a few drop downs. The one thing that I do not like about this website is that they are using a slider. Sliders are bad for a couple of reasons. The first reason I don't like sliders is because it does take extra resources to download these sliders, which is going to slow down how long it takes for your website to actually load. And then the other thing is with the core web vitals. Google likes to have it to where your website isn't shifting. So with a slider, we can obviously see here that we are shifting from one to the next. So that's going to have a negative effect on your page speed insights, as we'll see here shortly. Other than that, as we start to scroll down, we can kind of see the products that they do have to offer with the interior, the exterior, and then some tips and tricks here as well. And then underneath that, we got the products themselves being displayed. So all of this looks pretty good for the onset of the website. And as I go through this site audit, I also like to take a quick peek at the title and description tags. So when you hover over the tab, you can see that car detailing products and car care products / lithium auto care pops up. So that's what they're using as the title for the website. Another way to do this and see a little bit more is to go to the right click and then hit view page source. And this is going to tell you exactly how search engines are looking at and reading this particular web page. A couple things I like to look at here. So it looks like in the head we have the Google Tag Manager. So they're using Google Tag Manager to optimize their website for their recordings, such as goals, e-commerce, revenue, things of that nature. Another thing that I do see here is that we do have the essentials with the description and the title of the website. So right here, again, the title, car detailing products and car care products, along with the description, which is Lithium offers a full line of interior and exterior car care products, all created in small batches using the finest ingredients in the world and 100% guaranteed. It looks like we also have a Twitter card set up. And again, the title and description, and a big key is having the conical set up for HTTPS. And this is usually automatically done through the Shopify platform. So if you're running an e-commerce store, Shopify really does have a lot of this stuff taken care of for you, and you don't have to worry so much about it. All right. The next thing I like to do is click around on some of the tabs up here. So the About page, a little bit of information about lithium. That looks good. A link over to the blog, and it looks like with the blog, I'm not seeing any dates, but it looks like they have gotten 10 blog posts going. So this could be a fairly new website that's just getting ready to go. How-to videos, I'm imagining. Yep, so we have a bunch of videos here on how to use their products, which is always good. The shop. So this is going to be your collections page on Shopify. So we can see all the products that they do have to offer to sell on their website. And then again, so we have the interior, so this should be all the products pertaining to the interior of the website. And then the one thing I did notice is, and I don't like with this particular website and how it's organized, is when I click on leather conditioners, I'm expecting to see all the products they have available for the leather conditioner. And it's possible they may just have one, which, in that case, that would be okay. But I'm not expecting to go to the actual product page. I'm expecting to see a list of all the products underneath that category. So as we go through here, we can kind of see all of these links lead to a specific product. And again, so the exterior, these are all the products for the exterior of the car. But when I click on, okay, I want a clay bar kit, I kind of expect to see a list of products for the clay bar kits. Um, Other than that, this structure is okay. And then we have the reviews. Obviously, in today's world, you have to have your reviews up, and it looks like they did some video reviews, some warranty, and then some contact information. So for the most part, it looks like, so I'd make these actually linkable too. When I click on that, especially on a mobile device, I expect to click to call or for my email to pop up when I click on this here to send out an email to them. So that's kind of the top level view of how I look at websites. So now let's go to the next step and actually run the audit. All right, now that we've finished our visual inspection of the website, it's time to head over to SEMrush and run a full website audit. SEMrush is my go-to tool because it takes all the manual work or most of the manual work out of running a website audit. And it's very simple, easy to use, and easy to understand. So once you have SEMrush, all you do is head over to create a project, enter the domain name here, and then create a project name. So for this one, we'll just go ahead and say Lithium Auto Care, and then we create the project. Once you create a project, you get this screen. So these are all the different options that are available to you within SEMrush. For us today, what we want to do is set up the site audit. So in order to do this, there's just a few settings that we need to go through. With this website, it looks fairly small, so I'm guessing that we could probably get away with 500 pages to audit, which is going to be more than enough. So our crawl source is going to be the website. I don't want an email every single time. And for the user agent, I like to use Google Bot Mobile for obvious reasons. Mobile indexing is what Google uses, so that's where we want to make sure that we're optimized. Um, Allow, disallow, nothing to do in any of these options here, and we're not going to be setting up a schedule for this. We're just going to be a once and done. Once you have all those settings set up, just start the audit, and it will take just a few minutes here. All right, now that we have our site audit back, we can start taking a look to see what we need to take care of in order to improve our indexing in search engines. So to start with, let's take a look at the site health. We're sitting here at 86% out of 100, which isn't horrible. I've seen worse, and I've seen better as well. But the average top 10% of the websites out there are running at about a 92% health score. So that tells me that there are some optimizations that need to be made that can help with the indexing. So we have three different sets of issues here. So we have errors, which are the most critical and should be fixed right away. Warnings, which can be issues that affect your indexing, and then notices, which are just kind of best practices. So let's hop in and let's take a look at what these errors are. So we have two pages that have duplicate meta descriptions. So the meta description is the area on search engine results pages that's under the clickable title. So you have the clickable title, and then the description tells you what the page is about. So having two duplicate meta descriptions kind of sends error signals or confusion signals over to search engines about what the pages are about, because they're both about the same thing is kind of what the search engines are thinking. Next, we have a 400 status code, which means that we have a broken page on the website somewhere, and then that is probably the same with the internal link is broken. So let's go ahead and take a quick peek at these broken links. So it looks like we have Kryptonite detailing brushes. Let's head over there to see if we do indeed get that 400 status. So it does say that we can't find that page. So somewhere throughout the website, um, that link is broken and needs to be taken down. Let's see if we can. Okay, so right here it's on the how to hand wash a car page. Somewhere in this page we have that broken link. Not really going to spend too much time here looking for it, but I'm guessing it's probably these detailing brushes. Bada boom, bada bing. So basically what we need to do is we need to get rid of that link on the website. All right. So not too bad of a report with the errors. Next step would be the warnings. The warnings, we have 72 outgoing internal links containing no follow attributes. That should really, I mean, it's all discretionary at that point, whether you want to follow or no follow. Depends on what they're linking to and how much value could be added. JavaScript and CSS. For the most part, this is something where you're going to have to talk with a developer. It can get a little bit crazy, and if you mess with the code too much, you could break your entire website. You don't really want to do that. Low text to HTML ratio, basically we need more content on the page instead of just a bunch of code with a little bit of content. Same thing with the word count. And then there's 8 pages without meta descriptions. So what's going to happen in that instance is Google or other search engines are basically going to take text from your page and use that as the meta description. So it can be harmful just because it might not describe your page the way that you want it to and have a lower click-through rate just because of the description not being as good as it could be. And then we have 4 pages with too much text within the title tags. So with Google and other major search engines, you're looking at about 60 characters within your title tag. And at the beginning of your title tag is where you want your most important keywords. Once you start running over that 60 character, it really doesn't give you any value, so there's no point in doing it. And then the title on search engine results pages, those are the ones where you see the dot, dot, dot. So I generally like to keep those within that 60 character and provide as much value within my title tag. And then we have 2 pages that don't have an H1. So typically when you're structuring a page, you have the H1 kind of as your big header tag, what your page is about. And then underneath that you have the H2 and H3s. Next thing we're going to take a look at is the notices. Again, a lot of these notices, they should be taken care of, but they're not going to have a huge impact. The ones that are sticking out to me here, there's 10 links with non-descriptive anchor text. You want to get some anchor text in your links just to help provide crawlers with more information about what the page is linking to instead of just a image or something like that. Have an alt text in there as well. And then we have 4 pages that are blocked from crawling. That could be good, that could be bad, depending on whether or not you actually want those pages to be indexed. So, sometimes with a login page or a shopping page, a cart page, things of that nature don't want to be indexed, but most of the rest of the website you should have indexed. A couple orphaned pages, and then 1 more link with no anchor text. So taking a look at this, it doesn't look too horrible. There are obviously some things that can be taken care of fairly easily and other things that you may have to hire a developer to do. The next thing I like to take a look at over here is the core web vitals. So this is basically Google telling you that, hey, we have some issues or we don't have some issues. In this case, we have a poor core web vitals with a score of 0%. So as I mentioned, when I was looking through the website, the one thing that I did not like was this slider here. And when we come back over to the site audit, we can see that the cumulative layout shift is causing these issues. So what's happening is we have some text that's not remaining visible during the web front load. And that happens pretty much every time you have a slider on the home page. So that's going to decrease your core web vitals. And a lot of this, rest of this, Again, JavaScript, things of that nature. You might need a developer to take care of that. On Shopify and on WordPress, there are some plugins that can help with these issues, and it's a lot of testing. Before you run any of those plugins, always make sure to back up your site so that way if you do mess it up and it crashes, you can always revert back to what your website was before you started making those changes. Um, so as we can see, we're having a lot of load time issues. Largest content paint is basically when the website is fully loaded and you got above the fold is actually showing up on the visitor's screen. So as we can see, we're looking at 4, almost 5 seconds, 17 seconds. So what this is going to lead to is a lot of people coming to the site taking forever to load, and then them just losing patience and moving on to a different website or back to the search engine results pages, which is not good. So from a 30,000 foot perspective, this is what you can expect from a site audit rush for SEM Rush. I highly suggest heading over there. I'll provide a link down in the description where you can actually run the site audit on your site absolutely free and take those results and make some changes to your website. All right, to tidy up the site audit, what I like to do is head on over and to Google and a few other websites to run some speed tests, get a little more insight on to what can be done to help improve and see what kind of real rankings and results we're actually getting on the website as of right now. So as we can see, I already ran Lithium Auto Care's website through the Google Page Speed Insights. And for mobile devices, we have a performance of 10, which is not great at all. So we're going to lose a lot of rankings because Google does not like, or Google does not feel like our website is fast enough. So as we can see here, we have about 14 seconds before the website is interactive with a 3.6 second first contentful paint. So the first contentful paint is something of this nature right here. And then by the time we get down to here, it takes about 14 seconds to actually load the website. So again, a lot of these opportunities or issues that we're going to see are also going to be over in the SEM Rush site audit tool. So the key is really to get the SEM Rush first, get that to as close to 100% as you can, and then rerun the website, come back over here, see if there are any more issues. Another great, well, let's take a look at the desktop. So the desktop is much faster. So we're looking at a first contentful paint of under a second and a fully interactive website within 2.2 seconds. So I'm going to imagine that if you do a search on desktop, you'll probably have a better opportunity to find this website compared to if you tried the search on the mobile device. So a lot of these issues here, again, is going to come back to what was on the mobile and also over on SEM Rush. We also like to run the websites through Pingdom. Run a website test over here, and over here on Pingdom, we have a 66 or a D grade. Again, a lot of the same issues are going to be showing up over here as they did in Google's speed test and in SEM Rush. And lastly, you got to run through GT metrics. Over here, we have a performance of 70% or a C grade. So after looking at these page speed tests, there's definitely ample opportunity out there for this website to improve how it is indexed and how it performs overall to increase search engine rankings. All right, so if you've made it this far through the video, first of all, I'd like to say thank you. And then I would like to provide you with a free 30-minute consultation to help you increase your rankings on search engines. Within your free 30-minute consultation, you're going to get a free site audit, technical site audit, like what we just went over. So you're going to learn what you need to do in order to show search engines how to index your website properly. And then what I'll show you or I'll help you find is keywords that your competitors are ranking for right now and how you can come up with a strategy to go after those keywords and take some of that market share away from them. Um, So again, thank you, and I'll leave a link below where you can go and request your free 30-minute consultation.